has today published its new annual press freedom standings.
Aiming that at?
Nice shooting at the photographer.
Us, like directly at us. Directly.
Why are they doing that?
Where do I go? I'm with WCCO.
As we see, that camera person just got shot.
I'm pressed. I am pressed.
Hey, I'm down. I'm down.
There is definitely that sense that some stuff you want to avoid so you don't get in trouble. And even though I worked for international publications, I've seen people get threats, get intimidated. Some of our reporting, I worked for the BBC for some time, some of our reporting was not really appealing for government, so we get campaigns against us on local media, on social media. Sometimes it's not really easy to tell people where you work or what do you do.
30 years ago, in December 1993, the UN General Assembly declared May 3 as World Press Freedom Day to celebrate the fundamental principles of press freedom. Unfortunately, 30 years later, the state of press freedom across the globe has worsened. According to the 2023 World Press Freedom Index by Reporters Without Borders, the environment for journalism is bad in 7 out of 10 countries. In the past decade, India's Press Freedom Index has seen the biggest fall ever since Prime Minister Modi, the embodiment of Hindu nationalist right, came into power. With the current ranking of 161 out of 180 nations, India remains one of the most dangerous countries for journalists.
In this part of the world creates that sense of self-censorship. Some stuff, yeah, I mean, ideally you want to report, ideally you want to tell people about, ideally you want to go down the street and just ask people, how are you getting on with that? How are you dealing with that? What are you getting through? But you think of the consequences and say, well, I might end up in prison for that. I might end up, my family might get in trouble for that. And you see that with other people who tried it, and you think to yourself, well, you're a human being after all, right? So.
Last day or days after Palestinian-American journalist Shireen Abu Akleh was shot by Israeli military, thousands of people came to the streets to protest against Israel force and demand justice. Nevertheless, Israel force never held anyone accountable for the killing, and the death has gone unpunished.
The price is sometimes really dear for reporting. Well, I'm from this part of the world where a journalist was shot in the head for reporting an Israeli raid on a refugee camp in Palestine. So this could be the price sometimes, this could be the cost. So you can imagine what the cost is sometimes. People here would say, yeah, I mean, you get hate on social media, or you get harassed on Twitter, or you might lose your job. But in our part of the world, a journalist might lose their life on the spot for just being there. You just being there, you're reporting your story, and someone doesn't like this, doesn't like your presence. They haven't even gotten to see what you're going to say about it. They saw someone with a press vest on, and they decide, oh yeah, we shoot him in the head. When you think about it, you just think, well, sometimes I think to myself, I don't want to do this anymore. I never want to be a field reporter for that reason, for example. And I spoke to my partner, and she said, well, you're never going to these places. And she has a point.